Howdy. So it's been a long time since I made the first video, 25 signs that weren't in any kind of category, just signs that were really commonly used and would give you a good footing to build your ASL vocabulary. So now I'm doing another one of those 25 just commonly used, not really categorized signs, which if you learn these plus the 25 before, you should have a whole lot of the language down. In any language, a huge percent is made up of a very small number of commonly used words. So the idea of this video is to go after those kinds of words. So in the first video we had a lot of time words, before, now. So one that we're going to cover now is future. So the verb will is a flat hand, palm facing in, from the side of the head out. Will. And just like we had some other verbs which became conditional if repeated, like need becomes should, will, if repeated, becomes would. Although I don't see that word very much actually. So that's your first word, will / would. Second is the word do. And there's two variations on the word do. There is do like this, which is see hands, palm down, back and forth together. And that, I guess, is your ordinary use of the word do. But then a more questioning version of the word do, like what are you going to do after this? Or what are we going to do with all this cake? Whatever. Is both hands are G's, palm up, and they pinch open and shut with contraction in the forehead. So, do. Third word is to say. So, pointing finger, palm in, comes right underneath the lip and taps there. Say. Now, if you have your eyebrows contracted, it'll be like, what did you say? Or what did they say? But this can also be a directional verb, like I say to you, you say to me, he said to her. Say. Tell, say. Number 4, talk. There are two ways to do this. I was originally taught this with a forehand and your index finger taps against your mouth, talk. But actually what I see a lot of deaf people do is the forehand right there in front of their mouth and then their fingers wiggle. Especially to indicate like ongoing talking. Like sitting at a table and everyone else in the family who doesn't signing is just talking away. So talk or talk, whichever. Number 5, think. Pointer finger, palm in, taps on the corner of the forehead. But thinking, like the process of like, hang on, I'm thinking about it, is more like thinking with a small circle that floats right over the forehead. Now, if you're really thinking about something, it's a harder thing, more fingers. Think. Like, stop, I need to really think about that. Okay. Feel. Feel like feelings, not feel as in feeling a soft surface. Feel. Is like 5 with the middle finger down, and that middle finger brushes up in the middle of the chest. Feel. Like, yeah, I feel good. Or I feel lousy. Anyway, feel. Find is all your fingers are extended, but you're pinching. Like you're picking something up. And this can also be used for the word to pick up. Like, I need to go pick up my kids. Pick up. But find can also be kind of found out, like, oh yeah, just recently. But I don't see it for found out very much. But find. I do see it for pick up a lot. For picking up knowledge, I see it, but usually in that case I see it with 2 hands. Like picking up a lot of things. Like, oh yeah, we brought him into this business and he picked it up real quick. But you don't have to know all that, just find. 8th word, use. Making a U hand over an S, or a fist or whatever, and the U makes a little circle over the fist. Use. To work. Both hands are in fists, and the top, your dominant hand, will tap over the back of the other wrist. So, tapping wrists. Now that is work as in a job. Now work isn't to succeed, or the machine doesn't work, the computer doesn't work. That's work more like succeed, and that is this. Pointed fingers in at the corners of the mouth, palms in, turn out and go up. Succeed. Succeed. Now this is also used to mean finally, like at last. But in that case, it is necessary to go like a P-A shape with your mouth, pa. Otherwise, it's just like success. So, pa is like finally, yes, at last. Pa. You don't have to actually voice it, but you do have to make the shape with your mouth. But again, don't need to know that, just it works. Okay. If. Eye hand, palm in, taps under the eye. If. If. Alright. Word number 12, no. No has lots of different uses in English, so there are different signs for it for depending on the different meaning. No, as in yes versus no, is a 3 hand, and then the fingertips all come together. Palm faces toward whoever you're talking to. No. No, and you can shake your head. But to say no, as in we have no bananas. Hands are in O's. They go back and forth. No. Your palms can be a little bit in, your palms can be out, whichever. No. Similar to this is you can say that there are none, with kind of more of a connotation that there used to be some, but that you're all out, is none. How many do you have? None. Or like, if there were some, if there used to be like, we had tons of bananas and now they are all gone, then you can use both hands. But no, no or none. No, none, all gone. So, but that's no. 13, only. Your hand kind of, you have one hand, sort of twist at the wrist, boom, and then you emphasize bringing it out sharply. One. Unless you're saying only me, like I was the only one who showed up, you know, then the emphasis is in against your chest. You kind of pound it in there a little bit. Who was there? Me. Only me. That same kind of twist in the wrist, I think I would use if there were like only 2 also. Like, you know, how many states in the union allow this, blah, 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 law. I don't care. 2. Only 2. But you don't really see that very much at all, really. But just only. So that was 13. 14. Some is both hands are flat. Dominant hand comes down on the non-dominant hand, kind of like making a slice. Some. And this word is also used for part, you know. So some or part. Person or people is 15. Well, throwing those together. So person is both hands P's. Thumb is on the knuckle of your middle finger. Both go straight down. Palms down, hands go down. Person. People, you still have P's and they're both palms down, but they alternate. People. Or alternate circles, I mean. People. 16. Like or as, or to say something is similar or also or to, you know, all the same sign. It's a Y that shakes back and forth, palm out. It's like, oh, you love that band? Yeah, me too. You can do this directionally, like, oh, with the I love that band also example, you can bring it from yourself toward the person that you're talking about, you know, indicating, yeah, we agree on this. But a lot of things like, oh yeah, you know, I went to that school too. Or he looks just like his father. Or, you know, so-and-so is tall, same as this other guy. You know, like, as, similar. Oh, yeah, it's pretty close to what I've done before, you know, whatever. All that same sign. But, okay, so there is the word difference, which is 2 pointer fingers crossed, palms out, and then they separate in little arcs. Difference. And some people use this for butt. But I find that a lot of times deaf people will use one hand, pointer finger, palm out for butt. So like, blah, 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 blah. Like they say that like, but here's an exception, or like, but pay attention to this, you know, this is different. So, but or but. All right. Now into a handful of question words. Who? Hand makes an L, thumb goes to the chin, and then your index finger bends and unbends. Who? Who? What? There's 2 different kinds of what. What? Hands in 5 shapes, palms up, what? Shoulder shrug, face, the eyebrows that go down, like all these who, what, when, where, you should have your eyebrows contracted. Who? What? Now another thing you can do for what is to take pointer finger and sort of slice it down the open face of your non-dominant hand. What? I don't see that as much, but I do see it, so what? When? 2 pointer fingers facing each other. One makes a little loop and ends on the finger of the other hand. So your dominant hand. Anytime there's one hand that moves and the other hand stays, the hand that moves is your dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, it's your right hand. If you're left-handed, it's your left hand. So when? But that's more like age or what day. If you're asking specifically about a time, then you would point the same word for time. Time. Like, so when, where, when, where. Pointer finger, palm out, shakes back and forth at the wrist. Alright, so in the first video we had the word why, which can also be used as because. Like, I went to the store, why? I needed food. Or, I went to the store because I needed food. Same idea. But there is another way to go about this. So, pointer finger on the corner of your forehead, and then your wrist rotates out, means for. And if you do it twice, then that's like, for what? What for? Which you might say is pretty similar to why, but, and you can use why to mean what for, but this is kind of more specifically like what for, like what purpose does it serve? You're doing that? Why? Alright. Which? Which one of these? Fists with thumbs up, knuckles facing each other, alternate up and down. So you can use this to be like, you like cats, dogs, which? Alright. That. Out of the question words now. That. Sometimes you just point, you know, like, what are you talking about? That thing that we can both look at right now, but that's not always the case. That. Also, for more conceptual things, you'll see the why being used for that. Y hand, palm out, forward with emphasis. That. Which you will also see if you have just come to an understanding, like somebody is explaining something to you and you're like, oh, that. I get it. But that's definitely more of the, like, nodding with your hand. So, but that is stupid. That's wrong. That. Just one swift, determined movement. Alright, and number 25 is there. Which again, pointing, whatever, but I see a lot of times an upturned, open, flat hand there. Like, I'm gonna go to the library. Why? Because there, you know, people I know are getting together, or there's a meeting there. A party is happening there. Alright, so quick recap. Will with would. Do, or do for more questions. Say, or a directional say. Talk, or talk. Think, or thinking, or really thinking. Feel. Find. Use. Work, like a job. Work as in to succeed. The computer works, whatever. If. No, as in not yes, but no. Then no, none, or none. Only. Some or part. Person, with people. Like, as, similar, also, whatever. But, or but, who, when or when, where, what for, which, that, and there. Right? Have fun.